Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
What is up, everybody? Today we're talking about the new episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's season 15, episode 14. Okay, you guys, so we have gotten word that there's only 2 episodes left. It'll be next week, and then after that, it'll be the season finale, which I'm kind of glad. Now, usually that is considered a short season. Normally, we would get maybe 3 or 4 more episodes, but this season has not been giving, so I think it's the right decision to end it early and get on to the reunion. But let's talk about this episode. This episode starts with a little rundown of the women. Kenya is playing with Brooklyn, Marlo is FaceTiming her new boo, Kandi is with Blaze, but the first official scene is Drew in this really beautiful house that she's renting out for an event that she's having about mental health in honor of her sister. We know her sister had a big mental health break, so it's a good cause. Now, Drew requested a bar, but one of the ladies helping her planning was like, alcohol is toxic to the brain. We're not gonna have that. Like, come on, Drew. Then we move on to Sanya. So she's with her hubby, Aaron Ross, and she's telling him, she's very busy, a lot of things are happening, and she gets a notebook and says, look at some of the notes that I have written down of what I'm going to do. He opens up the notebook and there's a pregnancy test saying that she's pregnant. He was so happy. It was such a surprise. We know that he really wanted a baby. And then they go downstairs and gather the entire family in the living room. The sister, the mom, the dad, and Sanya and Ross turn around, and on the back of their shirts it says, we're pregnant. The reactions were like so cool. The mom, she was so happy. It was amazing. Also, the sister and the parent are going to move to apartments. She's definitely going to need help with this baby, but they're moving out. But it was a beautiful scene. They also tell little Deuce that he's having a sibling. Now, I do think that the sad part is that this is the baby that she had a miscarriage. So that's what's really sad about it. But in present time, she is pregnant again, thank God. Okay, then we move on to Drew and Ralph going on a date night. They're bowling. They seem pretty happy, having a good time, with themselves. But Drew does mention that Ralph stopped going to marriage counseling even though she is still going. He gives her some BS explanation and says that marriage counseling could lead them to a divorce because when they talk in marriage counseling, they fight a lot. He does gaslight her and say, what I'm saying is intellectual, making her feel dumb. Which she is, but that's her husband. He shouldn't be making her feel that way. And it just begins to become an argument. Then Drew mentions that she's going to be away for a while for this new movie that she's doing. She says she would like him to be like Daddy Daycare Todd. Now come on, Drew, don't take this man's manhood from him. You want him to be like Todd? No. But he ends by saying that he wants them to be like Barack and Obama. Really, bro? Moving along, Kandi goes to visit Kenya at her house, and then Shamia comes. I can't stand Shamia. But Kenya seems very excited that they're visiting her, and she gives them some salad. They're eating, and then Kenya drops the bomb that she wants to have another baby. Kandi says, who's going to be the daddy? And Kenya says, Mark, because we have some embryos. And Kenya does recognize that things could go wrong if she were to physically carry the baby, so she's kind of looking into surrogacy. Now, do you guys remember the surrogate that Kandi had? Well, Shamia is using that same surrogate as well right now. But Kenya does wonder if she will feel some type of way if she doesn't physically carry the baby, but Kandi does offer her some advice and she has gone through that. But they just can't help themselves. They start to talk about the mess. Apparently Shereé had a birthday party, dinner. Martell did not pay. He was asking the guests to cash app him. Child, that is so. It was $1,500. Kandi was not invited, but everybody knows Martell doesn't have much money. They must not watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. But the next scene is Shereé. She has this big old dog, and she goes to get him cleaned and groomed, and then she gets a call from Martell while she's there, and she tells him what she's doing. He says that he's at the airport, he's going back home. Shereé does say in her confessional that he got her some Alexander McQueen bag, but she does say that it was not an expensive one. But thinking about it, why why would I give my pretend girlfriend an extravagant gift? But then we move on to Drew, who's going to a table read for this Ratchet movie she's doing. Kandi is there, but it's awkward, y'all. Like, it's still bothering them deep down, this whole Latoya thing, because Drew says that she still didn't get an apology, and Kandi is mad that she called her a liar. And I also want to point out that Kandi said in an interview that she did this week that things at the reunion between them got worse, which is kind of surprising. So I'm excited to see that. But they're moving past that, at least for right now. And they're doing this table read. Shamia and Monyetta are there. I don't know if they're getting like some minor C character, but Drew did a really good job reading the script. I will say I did like the scene, even though I don't like the director or his wife. And the shooting for the movie is going to come up very soon. Then it is day for Drew's mental health retreat. The mansion that they got, again, it's really nice. They decorated it very well as well. All of the women are there, including Cynthia. Ross is there. And y'all, Ralph got there and he gave a hug to every single one of the girls except Drew. She's the one that had to go up to him to say hello. And then Allison, who's Drew's sister, and they look identical, you guys. I don't know if that's her sister or if that's her real mom, but they're definitely related. She gives a little testimony of what she went through. It was really moving. Everyone then makes their way to do a quote-unquote drop it with Drew workout. Child, in her confessional, Marlo searched the website and it was gone. And I don't even think it's up right now. The group was very big, so it wasn't just the cast that was there. It was also a lot of other people, like Kenya brought her friend as well. Then after that little workout, they moved on to a meditation session. Y'all, not for nothing, this retreat was a 10 out of 10. Good job on this, Drew. It was really nice. Then they head on to eat. The table, the way it was set up, it was top tier. Marlo mentions that this sort of reminds her of Portugal, because in one way or another, that's kind of what Shereé's vision of the trip was. Did she achieve it? No, but it's what she wanted. And since they bring up Portugal, Drew mentions that she had a very vulnerable moment in Portugal, and she's talking about when Shereé made her cry over the lawsuit. So Shereé is now asking what happened to the lawsuit because they recently had a court date. Cynthia is clueless as to what they're talking about, so she's like, wait, what's going on? So Drew explains the situation. Again, Drew hired a chef. Drew is claiming that there was hair in the food. The chef wasn't interacting with her kids, which, why would she want him to interact with the kids? But then the chef sent an invoice to them of $1,000. They didn't want to pay, and now she's saying that the amount that she was being sued for, which was $1,000, is now $10,000. What, Drew? Like, what is going on? This is why I cannot trust Drew. And then outside, what's his name? Ralph is having a conversation with Aaron and with Monyetta's husband, and they're telling him, like, you need to be careful, like, who you bring into your house, because Drew and Ralph be having the weirdest people be coming in and out their house. All these assistants, man, that's some weird stuff. Then they bring up Shereé's birthday dinner. Shereé invited everyone except Drew and Kandi, and I'm not sure if Kenya was invited, but Kenya didn't go. Kandi does feel some type of way about it because Shereé said that she invited her good friends. And Shereé then says, Kandi don't even bother to show up for the group. Why would she want to go to my dinner? Damn, shots fired by Shereé. But Kandi says that she would have gone, that she was in her house doing nothing. So it did bother her. Then Miss Cynthia Bailey says, I gotta ask y'all something. I've heard that there's some division in the group. So who's with who? And I feel like sometimes you need someone to ask these questions to kind of get the drama starting. So Kandi says that Monyetta was the one that said that Courtney, Shereé, Sanya, and Marlo were in a collusion against Drew. And then, you guys, Monyetta accuses Courtney of calling Drew a bitch. Mind you, this is in front of the whole table. Everyone's hearing this. And Courtney is like, what? No, I did not. No. I did not call Drew that. And Monyetta saying, yes, you did. Thankfully, the producer showed the footage of that night. And Courtney said it to Sanya. not Drew. And it wasn't even in a bad way. She was saying it like the way that some women call each other that, like, as friends. Good thing Courtney was vindicated, because damn, Monyetta, the mute wants to talk now? Like, come on now. Okay, and then the women all go outside to take a group picture. Now, Sanya was wearing a jacket. When it came time to take the picture, she got in front of everyone and she opened up the jacket so nobody was seeing it, just the camera, and they took the picture. And then she sent the photo to the group chat that they all have, so that once they saw the picture, they could see that her shirt said, "I'm pregnant." I thought it was a very creative and fun way to announce it, and they were all super happy for her. Then the last scene is Drew going to counseling session with Dr. Ken. He goes to the house. Drew is saying that ever since date night, Ralph moved out of the bedroom. Now, Ralph didn't even bother to show up to this session, even though it was in the house. Like, come on now. She's talking about the relationship to the therapist. She says that date night went horrible. She mentions that she now wants to put boundaries, and he says, what it sounds like you're saying is that you've had enough with the gaslighting. And they sort of come to the conclusion that she thinks that Ralph doesn't care about how she feels. She says that she definitely didn't get married to get a divorce, so she's been giving it, all her efforts and all her energy to work for this to be a successful marriage. But what do you do when you are willing to fight but the other person isn't? And she cries because she needs to figure out what to do and when is enough. It was a very emotional scene. Now, I don't know if she's being real or not. I don't know if she's acting. I'm sorry to say that, and I feel bad because it might be true, but I don't really trust anything that comes out of Drew's mouth. I'm sorry, and it makes me feel bad to think that it might be true, and I'm saying this, but I don't believe anything Drew says. But that was how the episode ended, and like I said, we will get next week's episode. Shereé's having a big party for her granddaughter, and then after that week, it'll be the season finale. Thank the Lord, this season is ending, like I said in the beginning of the video. But I'm wondering if we're only gonna have one episode of the Drew drama with the basketball player. I'm wondering how they're gonna break that into the last episode, but we'll see. Before the meantime, you guys, please let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts about this episode? Did you think it was a little bit boring? I think it was more of a filler episode. But what do you think about Drew and Ralph? What do you think about the mental health day that Drew hosted? And just your overall comments. Please let me know, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You'll have a great one. Bye.